Oh, hello guys, welcome back. If you are having breathing issues, don't do some stupid butt stuff like I did today and decide to smudge your house. I swear to God, I almost killed myself and now I'm breathing like I'm asthmatic. And yeah, don't do that stupid stuff. Don't be me. I generally do the dumb stuff so you don't have to, apparently. But I wanted to step away from like the holiday cheer, even though I will raise a glass to you. Happy Saturnalia. And say, it's cranberry juice, by the way, don't freak out, things aren't that bad. I haven't started drinking again, yet. Um, and say, it's okay to have problems with Loki. Because I had a total breakdown today. I totally lost it from the stress of working on the other channel, and not meeting any of the goals except for myself, and not having all the success other people have. Because you can see it. It's right in your face in YouTube. It's like, there, let me rub it in your face. How's that feel? I totally lost it. And I just was crying and sobbing, and what's wrong, and, don't you love me? Why aren't you blessing me? And why don't people love me? And why aren't I popular? And why am I so fat? And why am I so old? And why am I so ugly? And why do I have this hideous voice? I just totally lost it. And I was okay for a little bit, and I lost it again. And it's okay to go through periods like that. There are days where we aren't going to love ourselves. And if we're not loving ourselves, we aren't going to love Loki that day either. And I was like kind of trying to push him away. I'm like, yeah, I'm hideous, don't look at me. And he's like, no. And he kind of gave me a vision for me, not for anyone else, of he'll provide for me. But it's going to be very homespun providing. It's going to be, my ship is never going to come in the sense that I'm never going to be a millionaire-ish. And he doesn't know how to break it to me any other way other than showing me a simple home of, I'll have the fire and have a simple home, but, have food and clothes, but, anything else is the cream of life. And then he's just kind of looking at me, that kind of sad, hopeful look he gets on his face, like, you still love me, right? And I could tell it was like a deal breaker. It was either you accept me as a god like this, you accept that your ship is never coming in, you are never going to suddenly wake up one day to 1 million views on YouTube, unless, some deranged maniac starts following you. And, you're never going to wake up to 1 million subscribers, and you're never going to be making yacht money on YouTube. It's like, do you understand this? Do you understand that's beyond, for whatever reason, that's beyond his powers with me? And, that was not what I wanted to hear on the day I was having a breakdown, but I was like, you know what? It's okay, because at the end of the day, what he said was, we will have the roof over our head, we will have the fire, we will have food and clothing. And anything else is really extra. When I used to write those terrible fan fictions, and they really sucked. They did, which is why I'm so hard on people that write fan fiction. I used to write all this lovey-dovey schmaltzy stuff, and the female lead would always say stuff like, when the husband would say he couldn't provide more, would say stuff like, oh, how many rooms can I be in at once? And the husband would say 1. And she would say, I don't need any more than that. No. I was on antidepressant medication at the time. Give me a break. Anyhow, it was very warm and loving when I wrote it, and I thought I was a genius. Now I just look back at it and I'm like... But it is true. I don't need a bigger house than this. I really wouldn't want one. And I wouldn't know what to do with $1 million other than going to witness protection, because, everybody would be coming out of the woodwork for their share. So it's okay if I don't have that ship come in. And when he finally told me it wasn't coming in, yeah, I was a little hurt, but I was also like, I can stop waiting for that ship, because I've been standing on the dock and crying and being hysterical. And where's the ship? Did the ship sink? Did the ship go to some other dock? Did somebody else get my ship? And I've been like really hysterical over it. And he's like, you're going to absolutely start doing exactly what you want to do on these channels. Because I can't stand to see you anymore trying to figure out the secret and trying to figure out the magical formula, because you're killing yourself and, your health's going south town and everything else. And I don't want you doing this to yourself anymore. I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy it, but, I'm sorry, but that ship's never coming in. I was like, okay. And it's important to accept because, it wasn't just like the YouTube. It was like some health issues I've had, and I'm never going to wake up and be a size 2. Unless, of course, I start the thing again where, I'm on a drastic crash diet and I'm blacking out when I move, which was not good. But, the frightening thing was not even my doctor cared. All people cared about was my weight on a chart. And even at 135, when I was like really skinny and too skinny, I was still fat according to some chart somewhere. So I still had a while to go. And I was blacking out, and my hair was falling out, and I looked like hell. What? Excuse me. But there goes my monetization. But all people cared about was the bottom line. And I had to realize I could either be my size and just do as I will, because I don't really abuse food. I don't sit here and eat all day, even though that's like every skinny person's probably idea of fat people. We don't. At least I don't. And I think I'm healthier and safer staying one size than to go on a starvation diet and lose weight real fast, and then gain it back, and then lose weight real fast, and then gain it back. I think I'm healthier and safer staying where I am, because I was born with a bad ticker. So I don't need to put my heart through craziness. And I'm still active. I walk. Sometimes I do like the virtual stuff. I do boxing and stuff like that. So yeah, and you gotta be careful, because when you have the VR headset on, it's very easy to do, little rabbit punches right into your screen and be like, so yeah. But it is okay to not always get what we want, and it's okay to reach that point with Loki where we're just, we're crying. And, it's definitely one of those, you take them for better or for worse. It's definitely one of those for worse days, because, it's kind of dawned on you that things may not magically improve. That said, I don't want people to give up hope on Loki. I don't want people to think, oh God, I'm sick now, or I have troubles now, and Loki's never going to help me. He will help us how he can. If he can just walk through it with us, he will just walk through it with us. I know, I need to learn to sugarcoat things, don't I? I need to learn to lie to you people. But unfortunately, he doesn't like lying. But, if he can fix it, he will. If he can fix it, he will. He will fix it if he can. If he can't, he'll be there and walk through it with us. And to be perfectly honest, that is all any god can do. Some gods just have a lot better PR than Loki does. And I don't need to mention names here. We know gods that, like, people are like, he can literally walk on water. You should have been there. Yeah, it's funny. Nobody, that was actually there. But I'm not trying to start anything. But, yeah, guys. It's okay to reach a point where you're totally frustrated and you're just like, it's for worse. And you feel like going out and looking for the god that can do things. I was like so upset today. I was like, I wish Satan existed, because I'd sell my soul to him so I have success. And Loki's looking at me like, you're so lucky I love you. Actually, is like a lot more sympathetic than that. I'll give him credit. He when I totally broke down, he was there for me. But yeah, it is okay. It is okay to feel like you failed. It is okay to mess up in your relationship. Look, he's not going to smite you. He's not one of those touchy gods that you can't say to him. You can say as you will. And he'd rather you be honest than, to lie and say nothing's wrong. He'd rather you be honest and say, yeah, everything's wrong, my life sucks right now. And then you can sit down and talk with him about it. And that's the thing to remember. Everyone is free to talk to Loki. You're totally free to tell him your troubles, tell him the good stuff that's happening, but you're totally free to tell him your troubles, to tell him what you're afraid of, to tell him, if you're afraid of the future, if you're afraid of something that's going to happen, you can tell him. Tell him if anything you're worried about in the present. You might as well, because you should treat him as a friend, and hopefully you would tell your friends, what's bothering you and what you're frightened of, and like if it's your health or your finances or work or whatever, just talk to him, and you'll find out that, just the release of the stress of telling someone, of telling Loki, can help a lot, because at least someone knows. So, I hope that helped. I know it's not the most cheerful or inspirational video, but, it's never an easy topic to cover of, sometimes the gods can't do anything. And we don't know why. We don't know why they can't just hand us everything. Probably because their life wouldn't be worth living. I mean, we think it would, but we'd be so extremely bored. And I am drinking not to cough in your face. So, I think I'm going to close it out. But always remember, it's okay to have the bad days. It's okay to have the tough times. It's okay to be a rotten worshiper and cry and scream and shout and tell Loki off. We're only human. So, I hope this finds you well, and I am trying not to cough on you, so I'm going to cut it short. But I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.